here for the first meeting of the Virginia Nuclear Energy Consortium Authority Board of Directors meeting. Just one thing that I want to say to the out front as we get into these discussions. For those of you who are in the audience, I just want to make it clear that the Virginia Nuclear Energy Consortium Authority does not have any relation to any potential nuclear uranium mining in Virginia. So I just want to make that very clear that if anybody had that conception, that's not what this board is about. This is about job creation, research and development, and advancing the nuclear space in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So I want to thank you all so much for joining us. There's two people in the audience that I'd also like to recognize. Christy Morton and Andrew Lamar. Many of you all worked with them, and they both have moved on from the governor's office. We have a couple of other partners that worked on the concept and the notion of the Virginia Nuclear Energy Consortium Authority in the governor's office, and I'm the last woman standing. So here I am with you all today, and I'm very pleased to talk about this. I also wanted to do another housekeeping item and remind you all that you all serving on this board are public officials. This meeting is an open meeting under the Freedom of Information Act. And so all of our discussions are going to be recorded here today. When you speak, if you can hit that button on the microphone so that can go right into the recording systems that we have. This all recorded for our notes. So I just wanted to make sure that you are aware of that. I'm going to be sending out a follow-up document to you all so you can read through the Freedom of Information Act and understand what it means to be a public official and what that entails. With that, I thought that we could go around the room and everybody can introduce themselves and perhaps give a little bit of background of your role. Some of you all were part of the group that formalized this idea that's now in the law of the Commonwealth of Virginia. And so if you were part of that group, if you could also recognize that. And we'll start here to my left. That'd be great.
I'm a professor of nuclear engineering. I have been in this discipline for 28 years. Quickly speaking, 15 years at Penn State, 10 years at Florida. I was chair of the program down in Florida, and now we are moving the nuclear engineering at Virginia Tech. We have established a program, and we recently got the degrees approved. And we look forward to training a lot of good engineers in the state.
Thank you. Jim.
Good afternoon. I'm Jerry Giles with the Virginia Economic Development Partnership. I'm the designee Mark Crowley, President and CEO of the meeting. I've had the pleasure personally of an organization to be involved since the first meeting of this planning group that goes back several years now. So happy to see it get to fruition, so to speak.
Hi, I'm Conrad Spangler. I'm the director of the State Department of Mines, Minerals, and Energy. And as our name might indicate, we're involved in mining and all types of minerals development as well as energy resource development and the support that goes along with that. I'm a civil engineer, environmental engineer, graduate of Virginia Tech, and so we're able to see some folks who are here. We have not been involved in some of the formative work so far, but we're looking forward to the work that's being done. There are all types of energy that are developed in Virginia, some are indigenous resources, coal, oil, gas, those types of things. And we're looking now at nuclear, wind, solar, to put together a comprehensive complete portfolio. We're glad to see this group that can help with this part of the industry.
Hi, I'm Mike Ritchek. I'm President and CEO of Arita Inc. For North America. I'm coming out of Lynchburg, Virginia. We employ a little over 2,100 people there. We are the largest engineering and services provider to the nuclear fleet in the U.S. We're excited to be involved. We've had a lot of efforts ongoing with STEM outreach with Central Virginia Community College and the University of Virginia. Also many ties to Virginia Tech and Virginia Commonwealth University. So we're excited about being able to work together with these universities in research development and job creation within the state. So we're happy to be here.
Ganapati, my name. I'm from Jefferson Lab. I represent the federal labs on this board. And basically, we also built a consortium with many universities in Virginia that includes Virginia Tech, VCU, University of Virginia, and ODU. Basically, we would like to further the technology we have at Jefferson Lab based on continuous wave accelerators to basically recycle the used fuel that is sitting around with the technology we have, and potentially also can generate power using thorium, which is much more, I think, friendly compared to uranium, and I think Virginia could really make a difference using the technology we have here. And we are working with the universities. We have actually created a Virginia ADS consortium, and we already organized 2 workshops, international workshops, and 3rd workshop is going to be hosted by VCU in Richmond. Tentatively, it's planned to be in October 2014, and the international community is going to participate in that. Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Colleen Deegan. I'm the Vice President with Bechtel Corporation. We are relative newcomers to Virginia, having moved about 650 people here a little over a year ago. But we are not new to the nuclear field. We've been working in nuclear since we built the very first plants in this country. And we maintain those plants, and we are at every end of the fuel spectrum, from spent fuel handling to decommissioning, and also engaged in a venture with BMW on small modular reactors. We're very excited about the future of nuclear in the United States and in Virginia.
Good afternoon. My name is Donald Hoffman. I'm the President and Chief Executive Officer of Excel Services Corporation, international engineering consulting firm. And we work with what was all 104 operating reactors in the United States with many of the organizations and people that I see around this table. I'm also here as the President of the American Nuke Society. My background, I was an engineering officer in a nuclear submarine for 9 years. Had the opportunity to be in your shipyard more than once, and was worked for the Nuclear Regulatory Commission for 5 years, writing responsible for the license applications for leaving Coast of Rhode Island. And 28 years ago, I started this international consulting firm. We worked in 23 different countries with a lot of different activities. But as the President of the American Nuke Society, I want to say how proud I am and how pleased I am that the state of Virginia had the foresight to form such an entity as this and to give us the opportunity to participate. It is indeed my hope that the other 31 states in this country that indeed also utilize nuclear energy, some of which actually use it greater than 50%, have the foresight to do the same. So it's our hope to take the kind of concepts that you've established here and possibly get other states to consider utilizing this for their own benefit, but especially from a national energy policy. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to participate today.
And my name is Matt Mulheron. I am the president of Newport News Shipbuilding, a shipyard in Tidewater, Virginia, 23,000 folks. We build nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, nuclear-powered submarines, do midlife refueling of aircraft carriers and inactivations as well. I'm a 1981 graduate of Virginia Tech in civil engineering. We've been classmates and been at the shipyard for 32 years. I was not part of the group that formed this, but I did have folks involved in this thing, and happy to be part of it. Look forward to this. I certainly think Virginia is a state ripe with technical capability to go bring the commercial nuclear power field further advance that in the state of Virginia.
Maureen's another one who left me behind.
Hi, I'm Maureen Madsen, and I think I've had the opportunity to work with just about everybody around this table at one time or another over the last several years. I'm now serving as University Counsel at Christopher Newport University, but for the 3 years before that, served as Governor McDonnell's Senior Advisor on Energy. And pleased to have been a part of bringing the structure and formality to what was an informal consortium prior to this day, and very excited to get to be a part of bringing our vision to fruition here so that all of Virginia recognizes the role that nuclear power plays in energy and in Virginia's energy future.
Good afternoon. My name is Kiyoshi Enoch. Chief Executive Director of Mitsubishi Nuclear Energy Systems. I wonder if this is Barry Johnson, but I thought that Barry Johnson.
No, you're over there. That's okay.
My company, Mitsubishi Nuclear Energy Systems, is a 100% subsidiary to MHI, Mitsubishi Industry. And we are a US company dedicated for new build and after service for new build. And also we have a sister company, Mitsubishi Power Systems. We are serving solar, wind, gas turbine, IGCC, etc. So we are, in fact, a total integrated energy supplier. We are very happy to contribute to the US energy need.
Good afternoon. My name is Samantha Leon. I'm an associate professor at Virginia Consortium University, and I'm also the director of the nuclear engineering program at VCU. I am here representing Michael Rao, the president of VCU. So VCU, as you probably know, has a fairly new nuclear engineering program, almost as new as Virginia Tech. We have bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees in nuclear engineering, so we are very excited to be able to contribute to this consortium and again produce very good talented engineers for the economic development of Virginia. I am one of the people, together with Maureen and some other people that are sitting behind us there, that had the pleasure to work on making this happen. So I'm super excited to be here today. And it's really a good here. So really, thank you.
Well, thank you all, and I think you can tell we have some great intelligence sitting around this table that can really contribute to a successful implementation of this concept. It took a while to get into fruition that we're here today. The next thing that we have that I thought would be important, if we could go through the actual acts of the General Assembly. You have that in your packet, just behind your agenda. It has the legislative authority here. I'm not going to read it all word for word, but I do think it's important to understand that we not only have this authority board here, but this authority board will also create a consortium underneath it that will be a non-stock operation in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Some of the powers of the authority is to some very benign and some very important, adopting the use of a corporate seal, acquire the ability to acquire, purchase, hold, lease, or otherwise dispose of property, adopt bylaws for the management and regulation of its affairs, develop and adopt a strategic plan for carrying out this chapter, make and enter into all contracts and agreements necessary to carry out this chapter, consult with the General Assembly, federal, state, and local agencies, nonprofit organizations, private industry, and other potential developers and users of nuclear energy, promote and facilitate agreements among public and private institutions of higher education in the Commonwealth and other research entities, disseminate information and research results, identify and support in cooperation with Virginia nuclear entities in the public and private sector, the development of education programs related to Virginia's nuclear energy industry, and then provide for the establishment of the consortium, develop a policy regarding any interest in intellectual property that may be acquired or developed by the consortium, apply for, solicit, and accept from any source, including any agency of the federal government, the Commonwealth, or any state, municipality, county, or other political subdivision, grants, aid, or other contributions of money. Facilitate the collaboration of members toward the attainment of grants and the expenditure of funds. Encourage, facilitate, and support the application, commercialization, and transfer of new nuclear energy technologies. Provide public information and communication about nuclear energy and related educational and job opportunities. Provide advice, assistance, and services to institutions of higher education and to other persons providing services or facilities for nuclear research or graduate education. Foster innovative partnerships and relationships among the Commonwealth's public institutions of higher education, private companies, federal laboratories, and not-for-profit organizations. So those are kind of broadly what we need to do. But there's some goals. We also have some really quick timelines that are coming up that I'm going to help you with. The board shall elect annually from among the among its members, a chairman, a vice chairman, and a treasurer, and also elect annually a secretary. The secretary does not need to be a member of the board. On or before November 15th of each year, so a month from today, the authority needs to submit a strategic plan or an annual summary of its activities and recommendations for support and expansion of the nuclear energy industry to the governor, the chairman of the House Appropriations Committee, Senate Finance Committee, and the House and Senate Commerce and Labor Committees. In addition to that, by January 1, 2014, the board is supposed to provide for the formation of the consortium as a non-stock corporation with the State Corporation Commission, using the words Virginia Nuclear Energy Consortium or any words thereby. So you will see that we have some very immediate deadlines and that we need to accomplish before the governor leaves office on January 11th. So we're really excited about where we are. Does anybody have any questions on the legislation and the authority that's given to you all as board members? Okay, moving on. The next thing that we have on the agenda is election of officers. And I thought what might be most appropriate, and it's up to you all to decide how you would like to do this, but just a suggestion for you all to consider is perhaps nominating an interim chair, establishing a nominating committee that would not only have the nominating committee for the elected officers of this board plus the secretary, but also to consider nominations for the consortium. So however you all want to handle that, I'll open it for discussion. It will take a motion of the board on how you all would like to handle this, and if anybody would like to offer themselves as an interim chair, we also would entertain that discussion. So I'm going to open up this to the board for your discussion. Thank you.